Hello, friends. Welcome to the program Careers Connect from Dubai, a DPS Alumni Network presentation. My name is Neelam Son. I'm an HR consultant and I'm into training and development fraternity from last more than 2 decades. And I have my working presence in Delhi and Dubai. In the competitive world of today, we are or will be going through the most radical transformation the world has ever seen. The people are justly terrified, excited, depressed, heartbroken, and hopeful, all at the same time. Pandemic has almost hit all corners and made us 60% home birds as a new culture of work from home has emerged. Companies in India and all over the world are facing utmost challenges. The education industry is the most affected one as schools and colleges are not functional and online education is alternative we see today. The students are facing number of career options and that are overwhelming and even confusing. And we at Career Connects, an initiative of DPS Alumni Network, aims to help students to make an informed choice by interacting with top-notch professionals globally, who through their success stories can educate and inspire the students in building up their career paths. Now I invite Mr. Rajiv Soni, the man behind this program, Careers Connect, to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. The genesis of Career Connect is in the year 2014 when a premium school in NCR had invited me to speak on various careers. I immediately thought that how can one person speak on more than one or two careers? So I invited about 30 of my friends who were at the helm of affairs in their respective careers. There was a doctor, there was a lawyer, there was an architect, and I invited them to come along with me, and we broke up the entire student fraternity of 600 people into about 30 odd careers which they had wanted, at different points. And we all landed up in the school, broke them down into the classrooms, and that's how we gave them 45 minutes to an hour each. It was in the year 2014, then only, that we had beamed in 5 professionals from around the globe. There was one from Dubai, there were 2 from the United States, 1 from Czechoslovakia, and 1 from Tokyo. So that was the genesis, and today we are several years down the line, 7 years down the line. We are here with professionals at the helm of their respective careers and professions, and today we are happy to have Ms. Ira Joshi. She is Indian Information Services. Information is what is her mantra, is what she has been head of disseminating for the last over 30 years. So with those few words, I hand over the mic back to Neelamji.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. Okay, today we have with us Miss Ira Joshi, a quick-witted, ambitious, competent, and a charming personality. A DIPSite 1977 batch who made us really proud. With graduation in economics from Lady Shri Ram College of Commerce, South Delhi University, Masters in Economics from Delhi School of Economics, a Premium Institute, MBA in Swinburne University of Technology, Melbourne, Australia, an officer of 1984 batch of Indian Information Service. She has a unique distinction of having served as a Principal Director General, All India Radio News Wings, Director General, All India Radio, Director General, DD News. She has a splendid career in the government of India for over 36 long years. Now a retired Principal Director General, NST, All India Radio. She has a great innings as a head of the news channel, Doordarshan News, the inter-news channel which telecasts in India and abroad and also on the social media. She has worked on deputation with the Defense Ministry, Government of India, on Under Secretary, Deputy Secretary positions. She was also a Director in Education Ministry, Government of India. She held premium positions of Director General and Additional Director General from time to time. Press Information Bureau India, she was head of Publication Division as an Additional Director General, Government of India. She is also an editor, head of the organization that publishes magazines, periodicals called Yojana, Kurukshetra, Balbharti, Ajkal, Employment News, and also publishes several books. Every Rashtrapati Bhavan series, a prominent venture, was also started by her. She has been a director of advertising and visual publicity, Government of India, and also additional director general, government advertisement policy, planning and execution. A woman of great substance who lived a life of a queen in the government services. Let's welcome Ira Joshi to our show today. Welcome, Ira.
Thank you, Neelam. That's a bit too much, Queen. Neelam and Rajiv ji, thanks a lot for inviting me. I think this is a very fantastic initiative of yours. And I wish it all the success in years to come also.
I can take the liberty of calling you Ira because we belong to the same batch, the same class rather. Okay. Ira, I start with you. To a layman, what is IIS? Because, most of the people are confused between IAS and IIS. Could you tell us about this?
You see, the confusion is much more than this. What happens is people don't realize that when you give the civil services exam, then you are sitting not only for IAS, Indian Administrative Service, you are also sitting for Indian Foreign Service. You are also, it is the same exam by everybody, a revenue service, which means income tax and customs,
Wow.
Indian Information Service, IIS, Postal Service, Railway Services,
Wow.
and many more. You see, so it is the same exam, lakhs of people sit for it,
Wow.
and about 500, 600, depending upon the vacancy that year, that number of people are selected. And it's a pretty long process, by the way. I mean, anybody sitting for it must know that it starts with preliminary exam, which is sometimes in June. I mean, because of Corona, obviously all the timings have changed.
Correct.
But otherwise, its normal timing is around June, the preliminary exam. If you clear that, then you do the mains, which comes in around October, November, normally. And if you clear the mains, then you are called for an interview. March, April time. So it is almost 1 year process also.
Oh, it's a long, tedious process.
Yeah. So I thought anybody who is thinking of it must know all this.
Oh, very nice. But I mean, if you ask me, everybody talks about IAS and IIS, and IIS is something, which is unusual to be heard of. So you mean, how do you know about this?
You see, yeah, I am telling you, number one, because this service, you see, actually, when you say any other service coming through the IAS and allied services exam, people say IAS hai.
Correct.
You see,
Correct.
so they don't make that distinction between different services. So it's and this Indian Information Service actually was constituted in 1960.
Okay. Okay.
And the first exam was in 1963 for, I mean, and it is the same UPSC exam,
Okay.
but it started later also.
Okay.
So less people know about it probably.
Okay.
But it is basically because there was a big gap of information in various forms. This Indian Information Service, service, you have posts of news, regular posts of the service in DD News, Doordarshan News, and All India Radio News, News Services Division. Then the manning by the class 1 officers in Publications Division, which is a part of I&B Ministry. And incidentally, Publication Division was the only publishing house at the time of independence.
Oh, okay, okay.
NBT came later. You know, Publication Division helped NBT to grow, which very few people know. Then there are other these things, that DAVP, Directorate of Advertising and Visual Publicity, which looks after advertising and other things. Then advertising of all types, that is to say, now it is video also, video ads, audio spots, video spots, print ads, outdoor publicity, everything. And then there is one Directorate of Field Publicity, which now the two, Directorate of Field Publicity and DAVP, have got merged. Right? Field publicity is in the field, obviously. Exhibition. Incidentally, DAVP also puts up exhibitions. Then there is Press Information Bureau.
Yes.
You have seen the press conferences. The Press Information Bureau officers are generally the media advisors to various ministries. And there are also posts in regions, every state. There is a Press Information Bureau.
Great.
Then you have these AIR and Doordarshan News.
Yes, the prominent ones.
Prominent, I'm only talking about the prominent organization.
Yes. Correct.
So,
okay. Tell me, Ira, when you go to Mussoorie, that is the time you're not aware that you will be in the IIS.
I'll tell you my case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sat for the mains exam in 1983.
Okay.
And 84, the interview and the results came.
Okay.
21st August, 84, we joined at Mussoorie.
Okay.
And at that time, okay, the people who are in the top 100 know that they have given a choice of IAS or foreign service.
Okay.
And so more or less they know, but they don't know their cadre. Okay.
Okay.
Just to say which state.
Okay.
The IAS one. And then everybody else is there, but nobody knows what they are getting.
Okay.
So it is only because this Mussoorie course is from August till 10th of December was. So only a few days before 10th of December, we came to know who has got what service.
Oh, wow. So it's a mystery. The entire, curriculum you read and
you see,
in Excel.
They basically, it is not mystery in that sense. What happens is people give choices.
Choices, yes.
You can give choices.
Correct.
You want IAS, IFS, income tax, police, customs, IIS, whatever service you like, because it depends on your own this thing.
Correct.
Now, then depending upon your rank,
you're given the portfolio.
plus your, no, plus your preference.
Oh.
That thing takes time, obviously. That is why it takes so much time. No? So that thing takes time. Okay, who gets what?
Okay, tell me, Ira, how do you rate it different from Doordarshan?
You see, that is again a misconception, because both AIR and Doordarshan, their news wing is totally separate.
Okay.
And the other wing is separate, number one. Number two, the Doordarshan and AIR are now part of Prasar Bharati.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
My parent cadre was Ministry of I&B.
Okay.
But the parent cadre of the producers and the engineers in Prasar Bharati, Doordarshan and AIR is Prasar Bharati.
Okay, okay, okay.
Basically, they are this thing there.
Oh.
So that is a major difference. And then this is news side, and that is basically other programs. You know, DD National is there, and other entertainment programs. That is the entertainment side, basically.
Correct, correct. Correct.
That is the difference.
Correct, correct.
News and current affairs is this side.
Okay. Okay. Ira, you are an MBA and a postgraduate in economics. Did it help you in framing the government policy, making plans, and your role in processing?
It certainly did help, but not planning. Of course, planning, because some of the 5-year plans I have contributed from whichever department or ministry I have been in. But what MBA helps in is in many other things also. Management and administration. Okay, because MBA, and that did help, because there is a lot. You are talking normally people emotional quotient.
Correct, correct.
Things like that, they are brought out during an MBA.
Yes.
So you are a much better manager after an MBA. That is what I feel.
You're right. You're right. Completely right. Okay, tell me, government jobs include civil service, administrative service, defense, public sector undertakings. How is your field different from them? And what was your job role in that?
I think I will just go through what all I have done during my career.
Okay.
My first posting was in AIR. It's very rare that you start with AIR and you end with AIR. But so my first posting was in All India Radio.
Correct.
There one learned the editing and making how to make a news bulletin or how to do reporting.
Correct, correct.
It's like that. Then the next posting was in DAVP. So at that lower level, I mean, technically lower level, because I mean not as an ADG but as a grade 2, grade 1 officer, grade 1 level officer. I was doing campaigns. I had the biggest campaign, which is of Health and Family Welfare Ministry.
Okay.
Which, if you recall, Nirod and all that family planning, it was major thing at that time. Okay. 89, 90, around that.
Okay.
Then I went on deputation to Defense Ministry. Incidentally, everybody, whether from IAS or any other service, we go on deputation to the ministries of Government of India. Okay.
Correct.
So I went there. There I did procurement, which is totally different. Not only that, actually, if you look at it this way, that in PIB and in other media units,
Hmm.
What we are doing is disseminating information.
Okay.
And in Defense Ministry, when you are doing procurement, then you have to be slightly careful that things are not leaked out.
Correct. Very,
So,
very important.
so,
Yes.
in that, but then you learn.
Yeah, of course.
And by the way, I got my specs from there only, Defense Ministry,
Ah.
because there was quite a bit of work.
Wow.
I was holding double charge for quite some time, and both of procurement, heavy procurement. So, but you see, unless you do a lot of work, you don't learn, and there is
Correct.
no fun in it. I mean,
Correct.
you do
Correct.
something,
Correct.
then I went back to PIB, Press Information Bureau, and I was media advisor, which means you are closely working with the secretaries and the ministers.
Correct. Correct.
And then after that, I went again on deputation to Education Ministry as director.
Wow. Wow.
And there, first 2 years, I was looking after adult education. Then the government sent me for MBA.
Yeah, that also on scholarship, I believe. They paid for the entire money.
They pay for it. And
Wow.
there were about 15, 16 officers
Wow.
who had gone with me from different services.
Wow. Wow.
Some from IAS, some from police, some from other services, just like that. Then I came back, and then I did in Education Ministry, and then I was looking after Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan.
Oh.
I was looking, and also Mahila Samakhya sometime.
Wow.
So I mean, so quite some time. So
Very nice.
then when I came back to DAVP. Now in DAVP, I came back as obviously director and then additional DG. And there I had come at a higher level, but I knew the work of the lower level. That is a big advantage.
That's a very big,
because
yeah, because that's one, yeah, correct.
This was my second term there. And here, I mean, I really enjoyed it because here we did so many new things. There was, I don't know, maybe some of your people who are listening, they might have seen at some point of time. It was a unique thing that DAVP did at that time, which is develop a train exhibition called Azadi Express, which was 150 years of India's independence.
Wow.
Now, this was a really major project because you had a train of 11 coaches which had to be converted into exhibition. Wow. And each coach is so big. So that was a major job. And then this train went all over the country.
Oh.
So it was long hours. We all were working. But the satisfaction was when you saw long queues with 3-4 generations standing. I mean, 10-kilometer queues in each of the city, people standing to see the. Wow. And in some places, people were saying, okay, no, keep the train for another day.
Wow. You feel very proud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you feel so happy that you have done something that is. Correct. So not only that, then in DAVP, there's a lot of creativity you can indulge in. So we made some national integration spots. Okay. Audio video spot. Bharat Meri Pehchan.
Oh.
If you were seen.
Yes, I've heard about it. Yeah.
So that I got it done with the producer. So both of us sat down and, that sort of a thing. So that was also great fun. And that is still being sometimes used.
Correct.
So that shows this thing. Then Bharat Nirman series was also quite famous.
Very interesting also. Yes.
Very interesting also. I was the member secretary of the committee which was doing it.
Oh.
So member secretary is doing quite a bit.
Correct, correct.
So I really enjoyed. I mean, I love doing something different, some creativity. Then when I came back, from DAVP, then then I came to PIB, that new National Media Center. Then initially I was looking after that also, and other public information campaign and all. Then I went as head of publications division.
Correct, correct, correct.
Which again, creativity, you can do anything, anything.
Anywhere. True.
So that's what I liked about it. And so we did that, quite a few things. This India Reference Annual and all that. This is done by Publications Division, published by Publications Division, India Reference Annual, which is very useful for competitive exams, because there you have a GK paper, and this is very useful for that. Similarly, the Yojana of published by Publications Division, which is in several languages, by the way, that is also useful for preparing for the competitive exams.
Correct.
Then I moved on back to PIB, Press Information.
Okay.
There I started another concept of a Vartalap, because initially in my previous listing, I had started the Social Editors Conference there. I had initiated this thing. Now that I started Vartalap, because Vartalap is at the district level. The media needs to be engaged and told about, because normally district level media is only giving the crime news.
Okay. Ira, tell me that it's a mixed trend these days that younger generation in college, right now at least, I see that they are not interested in Sarkari Nokri. Some feel yes, they want to go in for the Sarkari Nokri, but some are not interested. You tell me what can be the reason behind it?
You see, number one, it is an individual choice, because in the private sector, you get more money. In government, you have a salary. Nowadays, the salaries are much better than what they were when we joined. But still, in private sector, you can get a lot more. But at the same time, at not the top level, but at the initial few years level, if there is a depression in the economy, then there is a likelihood of your getting sacked.
A government job, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. It is any day better, definitely.
But in government, the reason for your getting sacked would only be you are highly inefficient.
Wow.
Only then you will get this thing. The other thing, I personally feel that being in government, and you do get involved in the policy and all that, and therefore you are able, and for instance, mine was an information service. So information dissemination, you are helping the general public.
Correct.
In some way, you are contributing to improvement of the position of a poor person.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah. True.
So you see, there is that satisfaction. That is there.
Yes, you're directly linked with people. You're trying to encourage the youth, to go in for broadcasting, for radio, for television. So it's a kind of a direct touch. But I don't know. There is some kind of a myth with the government jobs. People think the promotions in the government jobs are not based on the merit. It is, if you know someone, influential guy, you get a promotion. Then, is it true?
How can it be true? I'll tell you. first you are getting in through through a competitive exam. If you are talking about class 1 service, okay, even in other this thing,
Correct. Correct.
there is an yearly APAR, which is performance review.
Ah.
And in that performance review, it is not only your immediate boss who will be doing that review.
Okay.
The next review would be, I mean, after that, once your boss writes, then his boss will review that.
Oh, okay.
And then his boss will accept it.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it is more likely to be fair than anything else.
Ah.
And then for promotion, there is a DPC, Departmental Promotion Committee, which goes through all the CRs of 5 to 10 years at times. Okay. So it's not a one time you get a bad boss, the boss kills your CR, but then they will see your performance in the last few years over time. So this way or that way, mostly people have the same type of CRs. I mean, whoever has it, either that's a very good officer, or it is just he or she is just a medium type officer. But more or less, people get that sort of this thing. So your promotion depends on that performance.
Also, Ira, there's a myth, that they say, they are the government jobs, the people are laid back, there is no, I would say, ambition to grow faster. Is it true?
I don't feel that, but yes, not at the class 1 level, but yes, in any group of people, I would say, you would have some kamchors, what is called kamchor.
That is everywhere. That's everywhere.
That is everywhere.
Yeah.
But what happens is that the lower clerical level, most of the public persons have to deal with that level, where you might have these problems. So
Correct.
that is checked in different ways.
Correct.
And nowadays, so people can be thrown out also.
Yeah, on the basis of performance. No longer, I don't think it's, you are, you are checked at every stage. If you're not performing, you are told, you are generally, you're told to say, to just quit, That's what I heard, Correct. Correct. Okay, what are the two most challenging assignments you faced in your career as a Director General?
As a Director General.
Correct.
As a Director General or a Principal Director General, I suppose. Which is the secretary level. As the Director General, I would say, of course, DD News and All India Radio. Because I was in All India Radio during the COVID times, which was really a challenge.
Yeah, of course.
And because then other programming had somewhat stopped. So
correct,
the news had to be everywhere. Now, how do you expand to 24 hours? Some old programs you can give of but in news and current affairs, nothing has.
You can't, yes.
And you have to exit. 24/7. You have to continue the work.
Correct.
There was a lot of tension for me that nobody gets COVID. So I think in Government of India, probably in AIR, we were the first ones to start sanitization of every room. Every day there was a sanitizer in every room.
Wow.
And constant this thing, because in AIR you have 4 shifts in news.
Correct.
You have 4 shifts. So every shift you ensure. So it was, it's spread all over the country. So there also you are. So it was quite a challenge. But then what is life without challenges? Then it is, And then Doordarshan, the other thing is, in All India Radio, you don't have visual. So whether it is the program of any type, because I have also held the charge of DG AIR, which is the other programming side.
Correct.
But whether it is that or that, but there you don't need a visual. In Doordarshan news, the basic problem is that you need a visual. So in fact, and I started working on the improvement of the graphics, visuals, etc. of DD News.
Okay.
So, so you see, challenge is fine, because then there was appreciation also, whether from PMO or from minister. It was there. So what more do you want?
Tell us, Ira, that how do you do the recruitments in the All India Radio and Doordarshan? The children should know how the recruitments are done and how they can join. It is only through IIS or otherwise also they can join?
See. There are two different streams.
Okay.
I told you before that in the news is a different stream.
Correct.
But and the program side would be different. Engineering side should be different. And there they have their own exam and process.
Correct.
Okay. And anybody who wants to apply for Prasar Bharati, they should go to Prasar Bharati's site.
Okay.
Whenever there is any vacancy or anything, or any recruitment process, that is advertised there.
Okay.
So it's a very simple this thing. You go there.
Okay. Any qualification, basic qualification required for this?
Oh, everything will be different, na?
Yeah.
Different levels, different this thing. For the producers, you have to know, and for the engineering, again, you have to be an engineer.
Yeah, that's true.
There was
press, especially
as far as the news is concerned. Either you are an IIS, Indian Information Service Officer, Group A or Group B. Group B is class 2, class 1 is the way we came. And the other is that now it will not be a permanent job.
Okay.
We will be a contractual employee. Many people work as casuals also.
Oh, so you mean the newsreaders and all today we see they are all on contract?
Oh, some of them are on contract. You're talking about DD News. So yes, but they have been on contract for a long time.
Okay, cool then. They're secured, kind of secured, right?
Normally, unless, again, the same thing, na? Unless you are not performing properly well, you will be retained.
Oh, true. I think that is everywhere. In the competitive world, that's everywhere. If you're not performing, you're going. That's it.
Whether it is private sector or government, it is the same thing.
Correct. Okay, Ira, tell me how satisfied you were as far as the lucrative thing was concerned. How lucrative is your profession?
Let me put it another way, that I feel lucrative is not a good word, because lucrative also means a corrupt person. Okay, so, but you see, in government the salary is fixed at every grade.
Yeah.
So I am satisfied, but others may not be. In the sense of nowadays government jobs, so you are getting good pay.
Salaries.
It's not very
good.
When I started, it was 700 rupees.
Oh no, really?
In 84 per month. But then at that time, if you remember, Coca-Cola was only 40 paisa.
That is true. 700 rupees was good money that time. Yeah, true.
So now, but it was not as good as it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, now the salaries are pretty good. But obviously, private sector would be something different. I mean, depends on how talented you are.
Yeah.
You get a better.
Yeah, tell me, Ira, Stressful. I think the government jobs are less stressful because at least
Certainly not.
oh really? Oh really?
Certainly not. In
Because
fact,
uh,
in fact, what I feel is कि it's very difficult to manage in government. So that management job, administrative job or management job is, I mean, a private sector person cannot do it in government. You
oh
will get
really?
lost. Yes.
That's news.
Actually, if we go to private sector, we'll probably do much better
Oh,
than the because you see, you have to deal with several different types of situations,
yeah.
and rules, of course, are always there. So I would certainly not.
You know, we were under this impression that private, employees, they have no working hours. You know, they keep working and working. It's so stressful. Whereas compared to government jobs, they have their timings. They are more stable. You know, and good money also. You know, to
You
run your
see,
show.
I'll tell you, in government at senior levels. Now, if you have a parliament going on, parliament question answers, you might be preparing till late at 12 o'clock.
Hmm.
I have worked till late at night, from morning till late at night, 11 o'clock,
Wow,
12 o'clock, several times, because
wow,
you have a major project. And AIR, Doordarshan, in any case, are like that, because
wow.
at senior level, you have to see so many things, coordinate so many things,
Hmm.
that you certainly not a cushy job of only 8 hours.
Okay, tell me,
Mm.
Ira, you have been a director general, which to us is something so big, you know. So I would say a premium kind of a thing, you know. So tell
Mm.
me to our children, you know, please inspire our children and tell us your career path in the sense how did you make it to this level? What were the struggles? I would like to ask you your struggles, you know. What are the traits the student should have as of today to become a person like you?
You see, you need to do real hard work. Wherever you are, I mean, you may be at a higher position, but you need to know the job that your junior is doing, how he is doing, he or she is doing. Because when you know that, then nobody can fool you.
Correct. Well said.
And then you will be able to manage well. And once you manage well, your every boss wants wants a good officer, an efficient officer. An efficient officer will become only when you do a bit of hard work,
Correct. Correct.
and and then you will also start loving your job,
Oh,
because there are also so many aspects to a job that then, and if you are innovative, you have that tendency to find ways of improving for the organization.
correct.
Nothing like it.
Yeah. Correct. Correct. Passionate. You have to be passionate about your job. Very important.
Yeah,
You have
that's
to
right.
love your job like a baby, you know. Then only
Yeah,
you can prosper.
whichever organization you are in, you can always find something very interesting to do to
True.
improve the organization's profile further.
True. 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 True.
So
And
that's what.
integrity. Do you think integrity is important?
What?
Integrity.
Integrity?
Ah.
Of course. I mean, that's why I was objecting to that word you were using, lucrative, because if people go to government services to make it lucrative by the wrong means, then they can be out.
Mm.
And not only that, some people, they have tried to do that, and for many years they have had to go through a lot of tension because of that.
Correct. 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 That's not.
And
Yeah. That is.
and their promotions get affected, a lot of things happen, and then finally they are thrown out, since the process takes time. But all that time, their mental peace is all gone.
Like I said in the beginning, you have been the queen of government. You know, lived and had the best of flavors. Being at such premium positions. Tell me, Ira, if you turn the clock back, would you like to come back to the same profession?
Certainly, because I loved it. I love creativity, and I was fortunate. Most of my bosses were very good. They allowed me to do whatever I was thinking of as an innovation for the organization. So I would love to do the same thing again. I would not like to change anything. In
Very
any
nice.
case, I have always not been only one-sided. You
Very
remember in school, I was in the hockey team, state hockey team.
I remember. I remember you.
And
And in the first.
and I used to play badminton also.
Oh, yeah.
And I played badminton in Missouri also.
Oh, wow. We were all playing and playing and playing in school. That was the fun day.
So you don't do only study.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
many more things.
So how did Ira you balance at such good positions? And naturally the workload is too much. How did you balance your personal and professional life?
You see, I would say God helps you to balance. And I'll just relate one incident. I mean, in when I was in DG News, then there was a period of 2 months when both my parents were very ill in the bed. They were with me. So obviously there was a lot of tension for me, because and I was also doing a lot of new things in Doordarshan. So, but in that situation, my minister, Mrs. Smriti Irani, would be ringing up off and on. She did not know about the situation at home, but she congratulating, saying, "Oh, very good work is being done," and all that. In fact, once after the budget, because we had done very nice graphics and total programming was new, so she sent her personal assistant with a bouquet and a cake.
Wow.
As appreciation.
Wow.
So in that situation, when you get that, that is enough.
Yeah. True. I agree. Okay, Ira, tell me now, this is the last question to you. What advice you would like to give it to the youngsters regarding this profession, and also a little bit on how to prepare for these examinations?
You see, if the youngsters want to go in for civil services, any of the civil services, then they need to start preparing well.
Yes.
Which means they have to, you would say I'm talking about my own organizations, but then those are the things which every person's civil service aspirant does. There is a GK paper, so you catch hold of the latest India Reference Annual. You go through the Yojana, because there the latest these things are there, the policies and new initiatives of the government.
Correct.
Then you should look at, you should read newspapers every day.
Very important.
And then you should listen to Spotlight of All India Radio.
Oh.
This is a program in the evening. Okay. And many of the schools which, there are many schools which are open for helping people with civil services exam. They also use those things.
Oh, okay, good.
spotlight, they should make it a habit to listen. In fact, along with the spotlight, the news and all. So then they will get a good picture.
Brief idea. Correct.
Brief idea of what is going on in the country, because general knowledge you have to, plus this in-depth analysis with experts on this spotlight.
Correct. Correct.
So that is important. Now, what was your other question?
My other question was that one is the how to prepare. That this is one of the parts.
This
and
is how
much,
done.
Yeah. And if you cross the prelims, you see, it's only after you cross the prelims that you go for the main examination.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you pass, then only you go, right?
Okay, yeah. Not without passing prelims.
Yeah, that's
then,
what I know.
A lot of people.
Yeah. And after you cross the mains, then you go for the Viva. Is that right?
Yeah. But after you clear the mains,
yes,
only then.
Then you have the Viva and then you have the interview. That's the process, I think.
No. Interview is Viva.
Okay, interview is Viva. See, that is what I'm asking.
So it is the interview.
Yeah.
So it is the interview, basically.
Yeah. So first we do the prelims, the preliminary. Then if we pass the preliminary, then we go to the main exam. Then after we do the main exam, then we go for the Viva, right? And then we
main exam. Main exam, for instance, I had done economics, but there were 2 papers, so I had to do another paper.
Okay.
So I took sociology and read it on my own.
Oh, good.
So I mean that sort of thing.
It's a long process. I said it's a long and tedious process.
No, it is a long process, but people should remember that there are 3 chances normally, but from time to time, government also increases the number of chances in which you can try. Okay. I came in the second attempt. First attempt, I went through all the 3 processes, but did not make it. Because this is hard work plus luck. Correct. Let's be clear on that.
Correct.
And the difference
among the age bar on this? Any age bar on this?
There is an age bar which keeps changing from time to time.
Oh, okay, cool.
So whenever the child is sitting for it, then in the UPSC advertisement for inviting applications, it will be there. What is this thing? And that you can see in employment news. Employment news, there it has a website also.
Okay.
But there are many fake websites calling themselves employment news. So the best way to go to the employment news website, which also incidentally has a lot of material helpful for career choices and for preparing for the civil services exam. For that, reaching that website, the best method would be first go to the NIC site for I&B ministry. From I&B, go to publications division. From publications division, go to employment news site.
Very nice.
That way you avoid a fake site.
Oh, very nice. Thank you so much, Neera. We don't want to end here the conversation, but we have to end because we are still in the time part. Okay. Thank you very much for coming. And now a little appreciation package for you, which we give it to every participant. You strongly believe in a woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she gets in the hot water. So you are a perfect example of that. You could not at any age be contented to take your place by the fireside and simply look on. Life for you was always a challenge and competition, but you felt life was meant to be lived facing it with a smile. 100% it's true. You feel the curiosity must be kept alive in life to grow and prosper. One must never, for whatever reason, ever stop learning and sharing in life. Thank you very much, Ira, for coming and giving us your real information, real valuable information to the children. I'm sure the children are going to be, they are going to, follow it and it's going to be a good career path for them in future. Now over to
Thanks.
Rajiv. Yeah, thank you very much, Ina, for coming. Over to Rajiv now. Rajiv, would you like to ask something?
No, I think that was a fantastic explanation of long and illustrious career path given by Ms. Ira Joshi. So I think a lot of people would listen and will be well informed, or better informed, I think,
Correct.
by
Correct.
hearing her.
Correct.
And we look forward, to a lot of other people coming on this program, which which we can look forward to, from Ms. Joshi, because I think you're all from the same batch, so there'll be lots of other people. So with those few words, I would say thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, Neelamji, and good night.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much. Yes, Ina.
Neelam and Rajiv. Thanks a lot. You will have really done a lot of hard work behind this, I know. So thanks a lot. That's all.
I think
Namaskar.
your coming to the show was something so prestigious for us, and you made a real mark in your life, and thank you very much for coming. Okay, thank you viewers, and thank you Rajiv. It has been a commendable session, I would say, an in-depth learning we did. Thank you. Bye bye. As of now, take care.
Bye.
We'll meet
Bye.
next. Bye bye. Bye bye.